All right, guys, thank you so much for hopping on. My name is Omichin Lewis. Today I'm going to be talking about, how to stay alive in this real estate market. Let me go ahead and make my thing bigger. Right. Can you guys all see my screen? Good. Okay, perfect. If you have any questions, just go ahead and throw it in the chat. I have the chat box open real quick, and we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and start answering the questions in there. But in the meantime, let me just go ahead and mute the chat box real quick too. Okay, guys. So how to stay alive in this real estate market? 101. So I like starting off everything with an intention, some type of word to describe it all. And I feel like in this time, because we're all probably feeling it as well too, that the market is different. The houses are selling like crazy. Now it looks completely different as well too, with the interest rate stuff slowing down. But one of the biggest words that I say that probably can describe everything and what will really help you stay alive in this market is discipline. When you hear the word discipline, I know you guys probably hear it a lot. Like, what comes to mind? Like, what does discipline mean to you? You can go ahead and drop your comments in the chat. Just, let me know, what does discipline mean to you? Like, what is discipline? Consistency, structure. All right. Yeah. All good stuff. That's true. So, yeah, discipline. Without discipline, you won't be able to stay in this game. And I have to say, consistency is a big part of discipline when it comes down to it as well. Oh, hold on. I went back. So I have a little statistic here for you guys. But before I go ahead and get into that, what's the goal? Like with discipline, the goal in having discipline as being a realtor, you want to be seen and you want to be heard all of the time. That's the goal. We want everybody to know about us. We want everybody to know that we're the greatest realtor alive. Use us to get your houses sold. Use us to buy a house. Use us. So that's the goal. We need to have a goal. When you start anything, you need to have an intention. And one of the ways that you stay alive in this market is having that intention. Like, what did you get into business for? You have to remind yourself, what did you get into business for? So I'm gonna give you these crazy statistics right here. I heard somebody talking, so go ahead and mute yourself. I don't wanna, hold on. I did it. Okay, so guys, check out these crazy statistics. So around October 21st, there's roughly around 1.5 million people, as realtors in the market. Out of those 1.5 million people, roughly, I'll say 200,000 of these people are active in real estate. That's a huge gap, guys. That's a huge number. That's not even close. I wouldn't even imagine that. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably as well too. If you think there's 1 million people in real estate, like you wouldn't think only 200,000 are active. I feel like there's more realtors than everybody knows a realtor. Everybody cousin is a realtor. Everybody grandma, sister, brother is a realtor. I would have never imagined that number. But moving on to system and strategies, only 7% of agents in Florida are actively using their real estate license. So a lot of people have real estate license, but not a lot of people are using their real estate license. What's going on? It's crazy. And you guys, would you agree? This is a tough business. Not everybody's gonna make it. Not everybody's gonna be around. A lot of people that you went to school with. I went to Gold Coast when I took my exam. When I got started, I can't probably even tell you. I remember or 2 people that's still like right now in the industry from my class. And I had probably a class of like 30 people. So it's crazy. You know what I mean? People come into this business and they don't last. What's the difference maker? You have to take advantage of all the opportunities this industry has. And one thing I like to tell people as well too, man, if you see all these successful agents making things happen, you see these people out there winning, selling all these multi-million-dollar homes, or just making this great amount of money, you got to ask yourself, if someone else can do it, like, why can't you? What's different? What are they doing that you're not doing? They have discipline, and they have systems and structure. Without a system and structure, you can't scale. You know what I mean? And that goes back to the consistency that somebody dropped in the chat. You have to be consistent. Whatever it is that you start, wherever, you have to be consistent with it. So let's go ahead and jump into my next slide. I don't know if you guys heard or if you guys know, but this business, it's about listings. Like right now, it don't matter what type of market that you're in, take a shift. Who's winning right now? Would you say in this business? People with listings, man. Listings is the bloodline of the business. I tell people all the time, you gotta look at it. It's like owning a shoe store. If you only have like 2 pairs of shoes to sell, but you have 10 people walking in to buy shoes, the moment you sell those 2 shoes, you have no more shoes. People are gonna still come in. And because you have shoes for sale, you got people who want to buy those shoes. You might have people who want to buy shoes, but you have no shoes. So listings is the bloodline of the business. So we're gonna be talking about a little bit about, like listings, how we get listings, why we need listings. But I got a question for you guys. How many of you guys in this meeting right now would want a bunch of listings? Want 20, 30, 40 listings, like drop it in the chat. Say me. If you don't want listings, it's okay. You can stay quiet. You don't have to. All right, only Mariah want listings and Raquel want listings. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I'm here. I do. Okay, yeah. We all want listings. And one thing that I heard is too, if you can't list, you can't last. Point blank, period. You can't list, you can't last. All right, now we got more people in who want listings. Who want listings? Who want listings? Okay. The first thing I tell people, especially in this business, you have to become a specialist. You're probably looking at me like, what do you mean, like become a specialist? A listing specialist? Yeah. But I got a question for you. When was the last time you guys seen a specialist out of business? Almost like, I would say rarely. Rarely. Like you have, doctors. I like using that analogy, doctors. There's all type of doctors. But let's say you needed brain surgery. You wouldn't go to a common, regular, doctor for brain surgery. What do you need? A specialist. You need, a specialist. I'm going to a brain surgeon because they specialize in doing that, right? So the same thing for your business as well too. When you first come into the business, you got to start asking yourself questions like, what do I want to specialize in? And the reason why I'm saying that, because if you look back at the statistics and the numbers I showed you guys, there's 1 million people out there with a real estate license. Yeah, not everybody's doing it, but I guarantee you out of those 200,000 people, who are active, a lot of them that are on the top percentage of the realtors, they're specialists. You know them for something. They specialize within, an area. They specialize within a certain part of real estate. Because remember, in real estate, there's so many things. You can work with first-time home buyers, investors, new construction, pre-construction. So you want to make sure that you yourself jumping out the gate, like, man, if I need anything to do with investors, I want to go ahead and go to this person. You may be like, oh, I don't know anything about investors. Oh, I want to specialize in this, but I don't know anything about this. But it's better for you to focus on one thing, start with that one thing, learn about that one thing, and get good at that one thing. Versus, like being all over the place. It's not saying that you cannot take any other business from these other places, but you want to go ahead and build off of that. And that's where the consistency comes back in again as well too, and the discipline. You find out one thing, you focus on it, and you're just like, you're knocking it out. You're building. Because think about this. So let's say you start in pre-construction and then you stop the pre-construction because you want to go ahead and do only condos, but then you stop doing only condos because you want to work with single family homes only, like, and you're all of it. So you never built anything, you don't specialize in anything. So you want to go ahead, find a focus, become a specialist. Does that make sense? I see you guys dropping a bunch of questions, so I'm not even on my next slides yet. But yeah, so question, write down a question. What type of business do I want to build? And that goes back again to being clear. Like, what is it that you want? Like, what do you want to be known in the business for? And it's that easy as well too, because now when a market shift happens, or we're in a market where it's crazy and all this stuff is going on, at least people know you for, whatever it is. You're the best at that. You'll never go out of business, no matter how the market looks like. As long as you're specializing in something, they know you just for that, and they'll come to you just for that. But going back again, listings is bloodline of the business. But one thing that comes before listing, and you won't have any listings if you're not prospecting. Everybody you meet, you should look at them as, as a prospect. Because who are your prospects when you really think about it? Normal people. Normal people with jobs, normal people, that have businesses and all that stuff. So you have to start looking at everybody as a prospect. So many of the times I tell people, like, oh, how do I prospect? Where do I go to prospect? Your prospects are all over you, like, because you have to get in your car, you have to drive, you have to, throughout your entire day, especially going out, you see people. You're just not having that conversation. What is the conversation? Letting them know what is it you do. Interacting with people. You have to like, prospecting is not just something you do. I say prospecting is a mindset. And you have to, once you understand it's a mindset, it's something that I must do every single day to make sure that my business is going, to make sure that, that I'm putting food on the table for my family, to make sure that I'm ahead and stepping forward with my goals. You have to make it become a mindset. Build that habit. And one of the biggest things that help when it comes down to prospecting is invest in a CRM. I say that probably was one of my greatest mistakes jumping into the business, was not having a CRM early in the game. Like, I would talk to people, I would go out, I would, network, I would meet people. But one thing I wasn't doing, I wasn't getting those numbers. Or even if I did get the numbers, I don't have the emails. And I've met so many great people, and I guarantee you, like, those people would have been great potential future clients, because once you meet a prospect, they don't turn into a lead, right away. It takes nurturing. A lot of people that we meet, it's not going to be your clients right away. Nurturing. You have to build a relationship. You have to follow up. Do your monthly newsletter if you have one, or whatever it is that your way of, converting these people. But one of the easiest ways that right now that helps me stay on track, on top of that, CRM. And even for people that's new in the business as well too, you want to get yourself a CRM right away. And they don't cost that much, to be honest with you. I'll give you some recommendations for some. Yeah, I know Lion Desk is like 23 bucks a month, which is nothing. That's an investment within yourself too. So, like I said, prospecting is a mindset. When you first come into the business, you got to get into the entrepreneurial mindset, because now, again, with being a specialist, you're your own brand. Like, you got to start investing within yourself. You want to offer the best service, make sure you have the best tools. But when you talk to these people, so that way you won't forget them. So that way you remember their birthdays, you remember, what they're looking for. You remember the last conversation that you had. Now, okay, I have a buyer, a potential buyer, but they're not ready to buy. I can put them on a drip campaign. Whenever a lifestyle list of property, you want to go ahead and share those properties with people that you met to showcase the properties and potentially get a client out of that. If you had a CRM where everybody you met and you had their emails and their phone numbers, and it'll be so much easier to go ahead and send an email blast to those people. That's what I do now. I kind of create my own mailing list, just because, a lot of people say, hey, just go out there, get random people and send them stuff. I don't want to do it to random people. I want to do it with people that I know, because it's different for me. I like building connections. I like building relationships with people that I know. So I put them all within my CRM. I took all the contacts from my phone and I made those phone calls, reaching out to people, hey, just, updating my contacts. I haven't, spoken to you in a while, just, I want to go ahead and send you, a gift, or in the future or whatever. Like, what's the correct email for you? And I just want to go ahead and update that, keep you up to date with the market. So that CRM, after a while, I know some people, I got it in my phone contact. No, but your CRM is different. You want to make sure you have those drip campaigns. You want to make sure you're able to, like, text features off of your CRM as well too. So those are all the things you can do on your CRM. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, dropping a lot of things. So let me go ahead and check the chat to see what questions. Where do I sign up? Sign up for what? More details. How do I find expired prospecting with that be on the MLS? Okay, good question. I'll get to that. You guys are good. You guys are asking great questions. that are like kind of like jumping the gun, but I'm gonna go over all of that. I'm gonna make sure I don't leave out without providing you guys all this. What was it called? Not sure. What did the CRM you recommended? So guys, so take those. There's two CRMs that I recommend. One is called Lion Desk. That one I recommend that one because for I know getting started, you may not have a lot of money, but it's 23 bucks a month, I believe, Lion Desk. But the one that I really would recommend for you guys to go ahead and get is called Follow Boss. That one is $68 a month, but it's totally worth it. Like that one is next level. Like I really like Follow Up Boss. I'm not on Follow Up Boss now, and the reason why because as an office, some of the office that we have, like we put together to get like this better CRM called Chime. That one's like super expensive. It's like 2 to 4 grand a month, But Follow Up Boss is like right next to it. Follow Up Boss is phenomenal. Any of you guys are using Follow Up Boss now? Or what type of CRMs are you guys using now, matter of fact, if you guys have CRMs? Go ahead and just drop it in the chat. HubSpot. Okay, Kevin. Kevin's the only one. Wait, how many of you guys even are using a CRM? If you're using a CRM right now, drop the CRM. If you're not using a CRM, just go ahead and say no. So that way I kind of get an idea. No? All right. Thank you. Honesty. But I started using it and playing around with it. Yeah, sales score. Okay, cool. So yeah, a lot of these things as well, guys, they have free trials. Try out the free trial. Do the free trial for both of them. Do the free trial for Lion Desk, do a free trial for Follow Up Boss. I mean, there's so many of them out there. It's just picking one that you feel like you're gonna be able to work best with. And I feel like those two are good. Like I feel like, you have the cheap one, which is also good. And Lion Desk have the text message and all that stuff. Follow Up Boss is a lot faster to me. Real geek. So yeah, there's so many CRMs out there, guys. There's so many CRMs. But just pick one. I would say your basic CRM needs to at least have like the ability where you can send email blasts, you text message. I like the text messages because sometimes you don't reach people. You want to be able to shoot them a text off a number on the CRM to be able to reach them, call them back later. But yeah, just have one in place. That was one of my greatest mistakes. And that messed me up. Well, set me back a little bit because I lost all those numbers. I didn't stay in touch with those people, and a CRM changed my life. So go ahead and get that. As far as when it comes down to prospecting as well too, there's so many different ways you can go ahead and crush it. You just have to get involved, guys. You have to remember. Another thing is like remember specialists. Whatever you're doing as well too. When it comes down to prospecting, there's so many ways to prospect. There's so many things you can do. Again, pick one, the most two, and just keep doing it. What I realized with me from experience as well too, I would start something and let's say door knocking, but I didn't get enough leads or I feel like it didn't work and I would jump into something else and start sending postcards and I feel like it didn't work and start doing something else. And you know what I discovered? It never will work. And right now, there's a lot of people I know who are crushing it, just doing like individual things. Right now, what's working for me is the social media and also hitting the phones. And that's something I just been consistent with. It works, man. It's just, you just have to pick one. So many of the times we're all over the place when we hear somebody is having success with, doing for sale by owner, or somebody's having success with doing expires, or somebody's having success with door knocking. Then we try it, we give up right away, it doesn't work. So you want to make sure you pick one thing, and I say pick something that aligns with your personality, because we all have different personalities. How many of you guys like talking to people face to face? Just say I, or yes, if you like talking to face to face, and if, or put face to face. If you like talking to people on the phone, just put phones. Some people say the phones is faster. You can reach more people, Some people say door knocking is different, like it's the face to face. So it don't matter what you pick, just pick, see, feels like phone. See, both face to face. See, we have all type of different people here. So you realize that something may work for somebody, it may not work for you, but just find out. Like you won't know unless you try all of them. But pick one, stick to it. I guarantee you. Give it at least, I would say 90 days, but you got to be all in. You got to really be all in. In other ways as well too, because I'm huge on the social media side. I did a video, and my video right now probably like, I'm not as cool as Mariah, and then Mariah probably gets like 20K views. But I hit like 11K on a reel that I did. To me, that was awesome. I got a lot of interaction. And it was like, it was doing a voiceover about Zillow. If you guys have me on Instagram, go ahead and check it out. But it was doing a voiceover. Those voiceovers are awesome. Those reels are game changers. Joel had put me on. But when I first started it, my videos were getting probably like 300, 400, and I finally crossed 1,000. Then I started crossing 5,000. But now, like every video I post easily, like off rip, I'm over at like 1,000. But it was being consistent. So my posting schedule for social media is like three times a week. And I usually on Mondays, I kind of like take the time out and I do those 3 reels right away, or over the weekend. I'd come up with the 3 reels. Easy, just going through the sounds. I do the voiceovers because it's so much easier. I don't have to think. And I just go ahead and record them. And, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I just go ahead and drop them. And it's just being consistent again, guys. At first, I didn't see any results, but I did get a lead out of posting the reels. And I just had a guy reach out to me, like, yesterday, from posting on my stories that I was in the office coming to Orlando and stuff like that. And they were asking me to, to purchase an investment property. So it works, guys, but it's just being consistent again. Now this app right here, guys, this app is a game changer, and it has to do with the farming. So, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the app really quickly. It's called the Next Door Neighbor app. So you see, I'm talking about being specialized, and one of the easiest ways to start getting listings. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but it's starting within your area, the area that you know. Download this app. It's called Next Door app, and pretty much wherever you live, it's gonna get all the neighbors around you, or majority of people usually have the app, and you're able to communicate, like share information, what's going on. You may never know. Like in my area, down in Fort Lauderdale, there's no realtors on the app, so I'm like probably like the only realtor there. And whenever somebody's talking about moving or needing somebody like the inspector or whatever, I throw my card in there, throw some information in there. I haven't been too consistent with it, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But it's a great app to go ahead and download it, because your neighbors, they're asking for stuff all the time. They ask for a repairman. Hey, I got one, and you think about moving or whatever, or something like that. So download that app. It's called Next Door Neighbor app. They're gonna send a little postcard to your house to make sure that you're there with a code on it. And once you get the postcard, it just makes sure to verify that you actually live in the area. They're gonna send you the card. You type in the code, then you'll have access to that neighborhood. It's free. So download that. It's a game changer. Different type of prospecting. Of course, number one, especially number one to survive in any market is the sphere of influence. So I usually on Thursdays, as an office, we get together and make these phone calls. But I'm always reaching out to my sphere of influence, especially people that I've done business with, and call them back just to see what's up, what's happening, because you already built trust with those people. Those people already trust you, and it's a great source of referral. Reach out to them. And a lot of time, I know some people are like, hey, I don't know what to say. I don't know, like, like when I call these people, what do I say? And I wrote down an acronym down there. It's Ford. So write this down. Ford. F stands for family. Hey, how's the family? Like how's your kids? Like you remember they have kids. O stands for occupation. How's it going at work? How's the job? Did you switch jobs? Did I heard you got a raise or whatever, like give you stuff to talk about. R stands for recreation. Oh man, like are you still into, like race cars, or, like have you still been racing or whatever, hobbies. When people talk about your hobbies, you light up. So use that. And then lastly, dreams, aspirations. Man, are you still thinking about like buying, 3 investment properties? Man, do you still, have goals of moving to, Miami one day and starting your business and stuff like that? So that's a great way to never let the conversation be boring when you call these people. And it also really shows that you care when you're talking to the people. Did that help? I love that acronym. It's a really pretty good acronym when I'm talking to people, because when we talk to people, we're like, they have to say, like, oh. But don't be afraid. Use that acronym. It's really helpful. Circle prospecting. Do anybody in the chat know what circle prospecting is? Yes? No? Drop it in the chat if you know. Okay. Yes. All right. So circle coming back around. Yeah, circle right. So to older prospects. Okay, that's a form. That's a form, but moreover, so circle prospecting is when you're actually reaching out to like prospecting nearby your house. That's so yes, great job, Miriam. Yeah, great job, great job. Yes. So circle prospecting is actually reaching out to people around your area. So now let's just say prospecting nearby your house. That's so yeah. So now let's just say it don't even have to be a listing that you have or a listing that you sold, but it's just reaching it out to your neighborhood or a neighborhood. Matter of fact, I just got a listing today from a friend of mine who's actually moving down to Minnesota. I mean, who's actually moving from Minnesota to Florida. And one of the first thing that he's doing right now, we're working deals together. We're making calls. The area that he wants to live in, he actually took initiative. He's calling, he's dialing. Of course, you got to get the list, but he's dialing everybody in the Aventura area because he wants to move to Aventura, to be where I am. And he's been dialing. He's trying different areas to see which one he likes, but he was able to have 4 potential sellers. And just today, I booked. I'll show you guys the text after. I just got off the phone with somebody that he spoke to for a listing appointment. And the lady was ready to sell like now. And the listing is for 700 something thousand dollars, this estimate. It works, guys. It works. And it blew my mind and kind of like helped me remind myself that, man, we never know who's looking. We never know who needs our help. And just by reaching out, sometimes people are afraid, like they're gonna tell me no, or I don't want to call nobody around the neighborhood that's not looking to sell. How do I know they're looking for stuff? But it's simple as just calling. And he called and literally just said, hey, we listed a house somewhere near your area. I was just reaching out to see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I'm a local realtor in the area. God bless you. And the person answered, he left a voicemail. And the lady called back and was like, hey, yes, we're actually thinking about selling our house. When can we actually get together and meet? Crazy, believe it or not. And he's like, I'm down in Minnesota, but I do have a partner over here that can go ahead and help you. We work together. And I called the lady back, hopped on the phone, just asked her, of course. And then key questions you want to go ahead when it comes down to listing, finding out the motivation. You always want to find out the motivation, see how serious they are. And she's like, yeah, she's telling me that she want to go ahead and move back to, it's crazy. People actually are seeing the market. She's like, hey, I see the market is hot. Like the prices are up there and I see the rates and stuff are climbing back up. I do not want to miss out on the opportunity of capitalizing on this market. Can you come sell my house? Like, she's like, hey, yeah, we can meet tomorrow at 10:30. I'm just like, boom, let's go. So yes, guys, I was blown away as well too, man. It's the people we never expected. So circle prospect, pick an area, and I'll show you at the end of this, for those who stick around as well too, how to get these numbers. And you're probably wondering, what do you use for circle prospecting? You can use things like Mojo. I see somebody put it in there, which costs. Remember, in this business, there's free things, and then you have to pay to play. So you can't be afraid to pay to play. You have to invest in yourself. This is your business. So Mojo Dialer, Vulcan 7, RedX, those are all cold calling tools that people use to get numbers within a certain area or zip codes, or calling for sell by owners or expired, to get those numbers and go ahead and reach out to them. Lots of money to be made there, guys. And it's, at first you may not know what to say. You may not have but practice. We had Alexis who's killing it, with the for sale by owners. And he said that he just hopped on YouTube and watched a bunch of videos on how to talk to for sale by owners, and he's crushing it. But circle prospecting is a great way to start. If I were you, I would just hop on the phones and let them know, look, our company, and leverage your company stats. If you don't have any stats, use your company stats. We're at a phenomenal company. Lifestyle has over 200 something listings on the MLS active right now. Look in your area, look for something that's nearby, or look for something if Lifestyle sold a listing around there. Be like, hey, look, yeah, we sold something around there. You don't have to say you, because I know a lot of you guys, I don't have the experience. No, you don't have to have the experience. Look at my friend. He's not even from this market. He's from a different state. And he already got a couple, listings working here. So you guys can do it too. That's why I say, if anybody can do it, you guys can do it. It's just going out there and making it happen. Expired prospecting. How many of you guys know what expired prospecting? Somebody drop some. Miriam already gave me one. Miriam, you know, I know you're a star pupil. What's expired prospecting? Anybody? Somebody? Nobody knows? Okay, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. So expired prospecting is when you know, somebody who listed their house with a realtor. There you go. Listing expired. There. Thank you, Kevin. Simple as that. So somebody listed their house with a realtor and it didn't work out. It expired. You know, the time frame, the agreement that they had in place to go ahead and sell that house, it expired. The house, and for many reasons, you know, whether it was the most likely the listing was overpriced. That's the common thing. Now, how can y'all get them to relist again? You know, reaching out to these people. A lot of these people, guys, believe it or not, once the listing expired, they're still ready to sell. If they had that listing up there for a reason, it's not just like, oh, it didn't work out, I don't want to sell anymore. No, a lot of these people go back and hire another realtor. And a great strategy that I use, which I'm going to share with you guys, I go on the MLS, because you can see expired listings on the MLS, right? We have the options for expired. So write this down. I go back 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years. And look at those people who expired, but decided not to go back on the market and haven't recently sold. And if you do that, I promise you, there's a lot of people that you'll see that recently just sold their home and they were expired probably 4 or 5 years ago. Because they're now they're realizing, man, you know, I tried to make this happen, you know, 4 years ago, but for whatever reason it didn't work. But now my house is worth 2 to 3 times the amount of money. I think I want to go ahead and sell it now. Maybe they wanted a number and they couldn't get the number they wanted, so they just stayed back and decided not to sell. But now with the way the market's looking, man, those guys probably have, like, you know, 3 to 4 times the equity. So you reach out to them. That's how the conversation is going to be. Or you can door knock those expires as well too. That's what I do sometimes. I go out the door, bring out a paper, and be like, hey, Mr. Seller, you know, I'm a local realtor around here. You know, I don't want to take too much of your time. I seen that you tried to sell your house 4 years ago and it didn't work out. Do you know what your home is worth in this market? Are you aware that your home is worth, you know, 3 to 4 times? You know, if we can go ahead and get you, you know, 3 to 4 times more worth for your home, would you be open to selling right now? And you surprise people, like, I didn't know that, you know, like, okay, I'm open to a sit down. I'm open to a sit down and figure out, you know, what can I go ahead and sell it for? So I go back, and because a lot of these expires, when they expire, they already have like hundreds of people like calling them, blowing them up. You know, for some people that's very successful, they go ahead and reach out to the new ones because they want to go ahead and help them out and provide the value that probably the last realtor didn't provide to them. But I like going to the old ones, and you don't have to go years back. Maybe you just want to go a couple months back. The ones that still haven't sold, because those people eventually, I promise you guys, they are going to sell. They put the house on the market for a reason. They're going to sell again. So why not you reach out and go ahead and grab those listings? Then you have your for sale by owners. One of the ways to start getting for sale by owners for free without using a mojo or whatnot, you go to Zillow.com. You make sure you go to, you know, for sale, and you check out, you remove the check off by agent, and you just click for sale by owners. And their contact information is right there. And you're able to reach out to the first sale by owners and you make money off of that. Alexis is crushing the game, and that's how he gets those leads for free. But he practice, knowing what he's gonna say to these first sale by owners. So that way he can go ahead and get those listings free, right there, free, without paying for it. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys another 2 free nuggets on how to go ahead and get. So I'm sure everybody here, if you have MLS, comment yes, I have MLS. These are for my people who have MLS. Yes. Access to the MLS. Do you have access to MLS? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. Right. So not yet. Okay. I can do with not yet. I just want to take a note. So okay. So if have you guys heard of Remind or IMAP? I'm pretty sure. Yes. Did you know that with Remind or IMAP, you can get free leads? You're probably like, what? I get free leads? Yes. IMAP and Remind are badass. Like I'm talking about like badass. Like you can go into IMAP, run a search for everybody who's behind on tax liens, foreclosures, absentee owners, and you can actually like print out labels. It won't give you the number, but if you do it on Remind, you probably won't believe it. Remind actually gives you those numbers. Like you can actually get the homeowners in that area numbers on Remind. So on IMAP, one of the ways you can go ahead and start getting listings is looking for those people who are in tax delinquent. It's either they come up with the money and pay for these taxes or they sell the house. And a lot of these people right now, guess what they have in their house, guys? Equity, equity, equity. Now imagine you reaching out to these people. Hey, look, I'm a local realtor in the area. I specialize in tax deeds. I see that you're behind on taxes right now. Wanted to see, what can I do to go ahead and help you? What is your plan? Do you know how much your property is worth? That you can actually, go ahead and just sell the property, take care of those taxes you need to take care of, and actually pocket some money in your pocket. Some people are gonna have the money to go ahead and pay those taxes. Some people, majority of people, they won't have the money. So it's either what, they lose the house. So, rather than lose the house and the tax lien deed, just go ahead and sell the house. You'll pay off the taxes, you'll pay off any other debt that you have, and also you'll have some money in your pocket. Write this down. So there's a training that the Miami RE did. So I don't know if you guys know, but on YouTube, the Miami RE posts all their trainings. I have 2 trainings from the Miami RE that I personally downloaded to my iPad just because they're so amazing. It's called, one is Show Me the Money. I guarantee you guys, you watch Show Me the Money, you're gonna come out with ideas. You're gonna come out with ways like how to beast out on IMAP, because it goes over all the ways to use IMAP, like to make money. Not how to use IMAP, but no, like where to go to get the money on IMAP. So Show Me the Money, write that one down and type in Miami RE when you look it up on YouTube. I'll have the links as well too. So if you reach out to me, I guess I can text you the links for those 2 trainings. I have it on my phone. Let me see. I think I have it right here. I'll probably try to drop it in the chat after this. Then the other one is how to prospect with Remind. For using the how to prospect with Remind, guys, man, this one will show you how to go ahead and get those phone numbers and how to, to farm an area using Remind. I did not know that. I figured this out probably a couple weeks ago that I can actually get the homeowner's phone number. So the training kind of goes over like where on Remind, what another thing you can run a search within a particular area of homeowners who's been living there for years and have like, a huge amount of equity, or people that, are investors, bought cash, or whatever you want, or, for sale by owners or tax deeds as well too on Remind. But the only difference with Remind actually provides you with the phone number of those homeowners. So now you can reach out to them. Again, just a local realtor in the area, provide whatever value that you need to go ahead and provide to them, and go ahead and get these listings. Again, guys, this is just so many ways you can go out to get new listings, to reach out to homeowners. And those 2 ways right there are free. Well, not free because you're kind of already paying for MLS, but why not use the resources that the MLS is giving you to go ahead and get these listings? So write that down. How to prospect with Remind, Miami RE, and Show Me the Money, Miami RE. Phenomenal trainings. And I promise you they will make you money. It made me money. Woo. I know that's a lot on that part. So anybody has any questions real quick on that part before I get into this part right here, our second part on how to kind of covered how to get listings, but just a little in-depth in the overview. Okay, cool. So that means I covered everything. Okay, now how to get listings. So I gave you guys a lot of tools, a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff, but it goes back again to the specializing. Farming. I don't know if you guys know what farming is. If you do, great. If you don't, kind of will explain farming to you. I never used to understand farming, but farming is like kind of going back to like being a specialist. So you pick an area, you pick a building, you pick a condo. How many of you guys seen some agents who just work out of one condo and are like making this crazy amount of money just from selling units in one condo unit, and they haven't left that condo unit for like 20 years or 10 years or so. Yes, it's that crazy. Lucky for us, we're able to do that down here in this market where we can just farm one little condo or two little condos and make a crazy killing. So again, when you're new to the business, you want to try to become an expert as soon as possible. And one way you start by doing that is farming, by just picking one little zip code or one little area, one building again, and just knowing as much as you can know about that area. So if someone ever wants to buy, sell within that area, you know what the local restaurants are. You know the businesses, you know the business owners, you know what goes on in that area. You know if somebody say, where do I get the best cafecito around here? You know where to go. Where do I get the best, filet mignon? You know where to go. Mariah's like, I know she's probably like, yeah, I know Brickle. But yeah, guys, that's what she's like. It's true, right? It's true, yeah. Yeah, you have to become an expert. And one thing I tell people too, if you don't like your area, pick a different one. We know some Miami, man. Miami got some hoods, and that place right there might be a good farming area. But find one, find a different area, learn about that area. But by actually going there, like take your weekend or a day, go eat at a restaurant in that area. Get to meet. Imagine now you're showing a property like in a building down in Brickell, Mariah, and you show up the front desk person. Hey, Mariah, how's it going? And you're with a client. The client's looking like you, like, damn, okay. She's known around here, so get known around your area. Become the expert. If you're gonna be an expert, you want to know the people, you want to know what's going on, you want to know the business owners, you want to have a spot there. What's the hot spot over here? That ever happened to you guys? Somebody ask you a question, yeah, what's the hottest spot over here? Or just get some food or to go out or whatever. And he's like, I'm not sure. You say I'm not sure, that's not your area, that's not your stomping ground. When people say this is my stomping ground, I know some of you could probably laugh. And stomping ground, everything that goes on, and the shortcuts, the back alleys, everything. So that's kind of like the overview of farming. Find one area and be known in that area. Be that. That's a great way to expand. And remember, it's all about building. You start one area, start building. I know a lot of the time being new in the business, we want to be everywhere because that's where the money's at. I'm not saying you can't be everywhere, but be known in some place. If you get business somewhere else, take over that. But when you have a listing, you close a deal there, or you sold something there, start farming that. If you like that area, start getting going that area. Be known. I don't know if you guys know who Lori Reader is, but she's a beast in Plantation. Every listing that goes up in Plantation is her. She started from Plantation. She built her way to almost all over Miami. If you guys look her up, this lady has listings all over the place. She's a beast. Billboards on the highway, but she didn't start with just, let me get 30 buildings in Brickell and buildings in Miami, one in West Palm. No. She started off just in Plantation. She dominated Plantation to where every single listing comes out of Plantation, that's hers. Now she's expanding in different regions, slowly but surely. That's how you do it. You can't, eat an elephant all at once, pieces by pieces, right? And another way of farming, again, these are questions you want to find out what type of people live in the area. Is it older people? Find out what are the type of communities or buildings mostly. Is there mainly condos where you live? Is there mainly single families? Is there mainly townhouses? Master a community and start building. Master a community, start building. Research, what's going on in that market. At the end of the day, as well, too, guys, getting listings comes down to farming. And then also what's going on within the market. Like right now, the message for me, when I spoke to that lady on the phone, when I booked that listing appointment, I'm letting her know, yes, look, the market right now, I'm happy that you want to go ahead and you're interested in selling. Let's go, because the rates are going up. The people who sold their home for top dollars a couple months ago and stuff, they got top dollar because they took action. Now, if the rates are continuing to sky up high, the prices have to come down, because if you're buying a $500,000 home, that you're interested in 6%, 7%, like that, that's a big ass mortgage. So a lot of people, you're gonna knock out a lot of people that won't be able to afford homes anymore. Imagine paying $6,000 for a month on a mortgage for a $400,000 home. It's kind of getting pricey. So it's kind of have to take advantage before people be like, no way, even though it's a 5% interest rate is not outrageous because historically high, we've been up high between 10%. Most people, like, I mean, just last year before COVID and all that stuff, I think we were around like 5.4 anyways. People were swallowing that thing up. But because we went down to 2 and more people was able to buy, you see, everybody wanted to buy a home. Man, interest rates are like 2 something, 3. I want a house. I want a house. I want a house. But, and again, now they're taking a shift. Now, most people are like slowing down, but for sellers, you're kind of pushing them. Like, I feel like a lot of people in the next couple of months, if this keeps going, are going to want to sell, because now the market's going to kind of like level out a little bit, and people are like, oh man, I don't want to miss out. I want to go ahead and get top dollar. So you can start pitching that to them, but you won't know what to pitch if you don't know what's going on. So you don't have to be a mortgage expert as well too. So the way for me, like, to know like mortgages, what's going on, of course I look, Google and search and look at these other websites, but also as well too, my preferred lender. I call lenders, hey, what's going on? Educate me. They're in the business. They have to take classes. They have to know what's going on. Hey, educate me. What can I expect? So you want to have a good team around you, like, know the rates. People ask you all the time. That's a conversation starter as well too. And the rates, so the rates right now, like, are still great. Tell people out there, they're great. Now when they go to 10, 20, 30, like historic, like, then they're crazy. But now they're still good. Yeah, all the rates, yeah, they're amazing. They're at this right there. Oh, okay, people want to know that stuff. You sound smart, but you need to be smart if you're still doing your research and knowing what's going on in the market. And number of agents that came into the real estate market this year, we talked about that in the beginning. Number of homes sold this year. Like, if you're gonna farm an area too, those are some things you want to know. Like, how many homes sold around that area? What homes are pending? Like, you want to be the expert. People are going to start asking you stuff like that. You don't have to know everything, but just look it up. All that stuff can be found in the MLS. You go to the MLS, you go to the reports, you circle an area, click the little reports thing, and you'll be able to get the homes that sold around this area, at what price, square foot, all of that's a number of people moving here. Like, know this stuff, because this is money. Like, data is money. Once you know what once you know certain data, you know where to go ahead and improve. That's why I say, like, having systems helps you scale, and a CRM. Once you have that CRM, you know how many prospects you have in there, you know where your people are coming from, where you got this lead. Once you start tracking numbers and actually paying attention to the data, you're able to improve. But when you don't have any data, you're kind of just running around like a chicken with a head cut off. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to improve. You don't know what angle, So start paying attention to data. And lastly, I think this was my last slide. Hold on. Let me see something. Oh yeah, that was my last slide. So lastly, guys, eat up market share, man. Like, this is the time. Like, guys, I invested more money into advertisement than ever, because right now a lot of people are scared. Just like I'm into stocks and crypto and investing and stuff like that. You know what they say, when there's blood in the streets and there's fear, you go ahead, you eat it up. Like, this is time for you to eat up some market share. Like, get into the farming, because a lot of people that's been in a certain area spending a bunch of money in within an area, they're like, oh man, it's kind of scary. It's kind of like the competition is a lot. I don't want to spend as much money. I don't want to do that stuff. Man, this is the time for you, especially the way to get in there. Go eat someone's lunch, take up that market share, make it happen, guys. It's all there for the taking. Right now, it's a level playing field. You can come in and take out a guy who's been in the business for a while, using social media technology and stuff like that, and knowing this stuff. I love it. I love it right now. I'm advertising. I'm doing all type of ads. I want people to see my face, and I wanted to, like, so yeah, guys, let's go at it. That's pretty much it. I said I was gonna keep it short, but I got to rambling. You know what happens when I get to rambling. But what questions do you guys have? What's on your mind? So we can go ahead and tackle these questions. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me pause this real quick. Stop recording.